Hey YouTube, this is Matt, the lawn care little guy. I'm coming at you with another video this week, and sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with topics, and that's why I like watching other YouTube channels, just to kind of see what you guys are talking about, see what kind of thoughts that provokes in my own mind. And I was watching a video, and you know who you are, and I really appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing out there, Acme Lawn Care. Congratulations on completing your first lawn job. I'm sure you've even done another one since I've seen your video. But congratulations, it's really awesome, man, and you're doing a great job. And I appreciate your videos. So thanks for provoking this question for me. You didn't ask it; it's just something I was thinking about. But something that I remember from my first season of lawn care was I had to wonder how I was going to compete with all the other lawn guys that are out there, because there's a whole bunch of them. And you know, a lot of guys don't even get into the industry because they think it's so saturated, and they're just not going to be successful because there's too many guys doing it. Well, those of us that have been doing it, you know, that's just not true. I mean, yeah, it is true there's a lot of guys out there doing it, but it's not true that there's not going to be enough work for you to do. I turn work away every year, and I don't mean to. It's just I reach capacity. You know what I'm saying? I got to either, you know, hire somebody or whatever. And sometimes I do hire somebody, but that's not the point of this video. But how are we going to distinguish ourselves? I had to ask that question myself. How am I going to distinguish myself from the next guy, right? Because there's a lot of guys that do a great job out there. You know, there's a lot of guys that do bad jobs, but there's a lot of guys that do a really, really good job mowing a lawn. There's a guy right across the street, mows my neighbor, and he does an amazing job, you know? So how do I compete with that, you know? Because we can compete on a couple of different levels. One of them is quality. Another one is on price, right? At a price point. We could either undercut the next guy or we could do a better job than the next guy. And it's up to the customer to decide how they want to balance that, you know, price versus quality. But how do I distinguish myself? Well, I distinguish myself based off of not based off of necessarily quality all by itself or by price all by itself, but I distinguish myself by the customer that I want, because I don't want to mow everybody. Okay, I don't have time to mow everybody. Like, you know, I live on one side of the city. I can't go all the way to the other side of the city and mow somebody because I'm part-time. You know, my time is really important to me, and I know it's important to everybody, but I can't afford to drive 45 minutes to mow one or two lawns. I could mow 3 or 4 lawns right next door to my house if I wanted to. So that's kind of where I try to compete. That's where I try to distinguish myself. Not necessarily just on quality or on price, but I want a certain customer, and I'm going to do what it takes, and I'm going to market myself to that person, to what's most appealing about them. So now here you go. I'm going to give you kind of a sneak peek at my flyer. I'm going to read them both, okay, and kind of show you the difference. So here's one. It's a door hanger, right? So I've got a little paragraph in there. I got my picture even, and then I've got just a kind of a brief possibility of how much it might cost to mow a lawn. And then I've also got a 12-month plan. So you can pay me monthly, and you get all those services in there. Okay. Now I've got 2 of those. One of them is like that, is just like that, and I've got one that's different. Okay. They both have different prices on them, depending on if you're in my neighborhood or not. So you might have saw, it probably jumped out at you, but $25 a lawn, that's really cheap, right? That's really cheap. Well, let me tell you something. Some guys might call me a lowballer for that, but here's the deal. Not everybody gets $25. I'm talking about the people that live like right next door to me get $25. Why? Because I don't have to travel, okay? Where one guy might have to travel to get that lawn for $30 or $35 or even $40, I'm going to do it for $25. Why? Because I don't even have to start my truck. Does that make sense? So, I mean, some people might call me a lowballer for that. Or they might see my flyer and be like, dang lowballer. But what they don't know is I live right next door. Okay? So those are the people that I want to mow. I want to mow the people that are right next door to me because I don't have time to travel. And I know that the closer I am to my house, the better it is for me. So this is how I market myself. I say, thank you for taking the time to read my hanger. My name is Matt, and I'm the owner of Neighbor Services. Some people already know that because they're my neighbor. You may have seen me around because I live in your neighborhood. I know you could pick anybody to take care of your lawn because there's a lot of different options out there. But nobody will do it better than me. Why? Okay? Here's the why. Because I live here. I have an interest in doing the best job possible. I won't roll in and roll out in a matter of minutes, even though I could. I will take the time to meticulously manicure your lawn and keep it looking amazing. I won't blow grass in your flower beds, make ruts, or leave mud stripes across your driveway. I will always clean up after myself, and your satisfaction is my highest priority. Not only will I keep excellence as my standard, but I will always show up for work because my first year, you wouldn't believe how many people said my lawn guy stopped showing up. Well, I won't do that. But I will always, I suspect you want a great deal and professional standards of work. With me, you can have both. See, so I'm not competing just in one area. I'm competing on standards and on price. Because I live in your neighborhood, I can do it cheaper and I will do it better. Why can I do it cheaper? Because I don't have to travel. Why will I do it better? Because I actually care. You're my neighbor. I don't want your lawn looking like junk when mine's looking amazing. Okay? So that's one. This is outside the neighborhood. Different price, keep in mind. Thank you for taking the time to read my flyer or my hanger. My name is Matt, and I'm the owner of Neighbor Services. Pretty generic. I've been in business 3 seasons and manicure lawns part-time to allow my lovely wife to care for my beautiful daughter and son. I understand that you could pick anyone you want to take care of your lawn, and you're not without a lack of options. So again, I identify there's a lot of people out there. I know that. So how am I going to compete? That is why my highest priority is to provide the best service at the best price. Okay, so am I going to be cheaper than the next guy? Probably. Am I going to be the cheapest? Nope. But you're going to get an excellent product from me. Now, someone may offer cheaper service, but nobody will do the job better than Neighbor Services. Why? Because I live locally. I don't necessarily live in your neighborhood, but I do live locally. I still care about my community. You may have seen my post in the Nextdoor app. Okay? There may be 22 neighborhoods in that Nextdoor app that I'm advertising to, but they're all within the same 5 miles. So I've got some recognition in the Nextdoor app, so they identify with me. I'm an Air Force retiree, a husband, a father, a Christ follower, and I hope to be your lawn guy. So that's the best way that I can kind of show you guys how I try to compete and how I try to distinguish myself from the next guy. So I think, it's just the easy answer to say, well, we're just going to do a better job. But the reality is there's a lot of guys out there doing a great job. And honestly, we kind of cap out a little bit on quality. I mean, how straight can your lines really be? As far as mowing, I mean, if you have decent equipment that has a decent cut quality and maintain your equipment, how much better can you actually mow a lawn, right? I mean, when you are already quality minded, you can't get that much better, right? Eventually, it's just you just got your best guys, you got your good guys, and you got your crappy guys. I don't want to be a crappy guy, and I don't want to be just a good guy. I want to be an excellent guy all the time. So the next thing is price. Do I compete on price? Am I lower than the next guy? Yep, I am lower or cheaper than the next guy. Am I the cheapest? No. Why? Because I'm not blowing in and I'm not blowing out. Missing junk and all that type of stuff. So some guys don't want to work in the neighborhood because they don't want a business relationship with their neighbors, and I totally understand that because have I missed out on money? Because I'm trying to maintain a relationship with my neighbor versus keeping them as a customer. Yeah, I am, but you know what? It's a way that I feel like, because I'm an introvert. It's a way, my lawn business has been a great way that I can actually engage my neighbors that I wouldn't engage them ordinarily. So on the life side of that, my business is personal to me, and it is personal to me to the customer, and it helps me identify with what they need and what they want. But I will tell you this, it's not for everybody, because is it the most profitable way to go about it? No, it's not. Is it the best business to do that? Not really, honestly. If I could be honest, I probably do lose out on some things, and it does affect the way I make my decisions. But here's the reality. I have a need with my business, okay? I have goals that I want to meet to take care of my family, and the people in my neighborhood have goals to maintain their property. And the reality is we have that shared interest, and that's why I like to work in the neighborhood. And because I'm part-time, I can't afford to drive all over the place. So it's a really great option for me. And it's been really great as far as relationship between my neighbors, and it's been able to provide for my family in the way that I need it. So I can offer quality, and I can offer value, and I'm always looking to offer more value. but it all is revolved around the fact that I am not traveling. I don't want to mow every lawn. I'm not going to drive 15 miles to mow a lawn. I'm going to drive 2. I'm gonna not even drive at all. I'm gonna drive my mower over there. So that's how I do it, and that's kind of how I market myself and how I distinguish myself. And honestly, for you guys that are willing to go anywhere to mow anything, I maybe this video isn't for you. I don't know. Maybe quality is something that you really need to compete on, but I just feel like quality is built in. You should do a quality job, the best job possible already. And I think there's a lot of guys out there that are doing that. Price, you can only get so low, before it's not profitable for you. So I'm not sure exactly how you guys will compete with that. But what I want to encourage anybody that's out there is that if you haven't actually had that conversation with yourself of how you're going to actually distinguish yourself from the next guy in a different way, then I would challenge you to think about that, because I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of the social media, and that those seem to be the 2 biggest things is either quality or price. But don't limit yourself with that. It's okay to have a personal connection. It's okay to add some dynamics to your business that would make you more appealing. Top Notch is really good. He brings in some real practical stuff about wearing a uniform, conducting yourself with professionalism. That's something that's not talked about very much, is professionalism. I am the most professional. You could call yourself that. I am, you call your business professional services, right? And you build it all around that. I built mine around the neighborhood lawn guy. You know me as Lawn Care Little Guy, but the people around here know me as the neighborhood lawn guy, because my image is I'm your neighbor. My image is that I live in your neighborhood. I care. I care more than anybody, and I think that they believe that. And when I go and do my service for them, they know it. They know that I care. And if they have a problem with it, some guys might not like this either. They can come knock on my door, and it's happened. It's happened sometimes. They come knock on my door, and I'm okay with it. Why? Because they're my neighbor. I already know them anyway. If they got a problem with me in any way, I'd want them to come share that with me. So the fact that I mow their lawn is no different to me. Maybe I didn't say hi to you. So hey man, why didn't you come say hi to me? I thought we were better than that. Whatever. I don't know. Same thing. Hey man, I saw you missed a spot. That doesn't happen really, but if I did, I let them feel comfortable to bring their complaints with me, and the whole reason for it is because I don't want to mow just anybody. I want to mow that person's lawn. So that's how I compete. I compete through relationship, quality, and by price. So, anyways, I'd be interested to hear y'all's feedback, interested to see what you guys think about this video. I appreciate you watching it. Comment, like, subscribe, and keep supporting those of us that are new to YouTube. Keep supporting those of us that are just starting up. I'm 4th year, but I still feel like I'm a startup because I'm learning so much every single year. If you're a praying person, pray for each other, and I'll pray for you. I think about you guys all the time. And I just appreciate you supporting me. So Lord bless, and until next week, Lawn Care Little Guy, peace out.